I'm almost certain, Skeener, that Sami Zayn just walked in there and they turned and they looked and they said, "Hey man, what are you doing?" And I think Sami sat down with shades on during the nighttime, and he said, "Here's what I'm thinking." And he slid some paper across the desk, and they flipped through some of the pages. And you know what it said on every page? Sami wins. And they just flipped through the page. It says, "Sami wins. Sami wins."
We took a couple months off, but we're back. We're back to full U.S. title, Sami.
Welcome to the Lariat Lounge. This is the home of smart takes, hard hits, and real talk. I'm your host, Everson Godfrey, co-host Andrew Skeens. Skeener, WWE is hitting us with back-to-back PLEs. I mean, we literally had Saturday night's main event last weekend, and we're going to have the Royal Rumble this weekend. So there's a whole lot of WWE that's going to be happening. It's crazy to think that in less than 4 days, we will probably be seeing the return of some superstars to the WWE. Sure. But the other one that you played the other day is probably much more likely.
I would disagree with that, since Brock Lesnar has been officially announced as participating in the Royal Rumble.
Okay, fair. So wait, who announced that? Heyman?
It was on Pat McAfee today.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
I saw the graphic.
So I think that means that Obafemi is going to throw Brock out.
Wouldn't hate it.
I wouldn't be mad at it either. We got, so yeah, and listen, I know no one has outright stated this, but they've been talking about it a lot, and I'm almost certain that we're going to get a returning Jericho.
You would think. He never left.
No,
it's the last place we saw him, and then it's the first place we'll see him again. So Meltzer got it wrong. He was the only guy stuck in Saudi Arabia. He's been on that plane on the tarmac for years. For 7 years now?
So the person that we've been seeing in AEW is not, in fact, Jericho at all.
No, that guy's way too out of shape to be the Chris Jericho I know.
Look, listen, hair's longer, different guy, looks older. It's probably not the same Chris Jericho.
Not the one I remember for sure.
Well, listen, whoever it is that shows up, either the former AEW wrestler known as Chris Jericho.
They had Jim Ross over there, so I think he did, when he introduced Fake Razor and Fake Diesel. That's what he did with Chris Jericho.
Got it. So he's in on the whole thing.
You'd have to think.
You'd have to think that. You'd have to take that along with the whole scenario. So, yeah, I mean, listen, it makes sense. What does not make sense is Sammy Hogan, but we'll get to that. We will get to that because we've got quite a bit of wrestling to grapple. This is going to be your Saturday night's main event reaction episode as well as your Royal Rumble prediction episode. So look out for a pretty lengthy title for this episode because there's a lot to cram in here. But hey, if you're new here, welcome to the Lariat Lounge. This is what we do here. We talk about all things in the world of WWE professional wrestling, and we talk about the things we like and talk about the things we don't like. We react to all the PLEs in the matches, and we give our informed, insightful opinions because that's what we love to do here is talk about wrestling with smart takes, hard hits, and, of course, real talk. But if you do not know how to find the Lariat Lounge outside of the places that you normally search for them, you're in luck. Skeener, please let everyone know where they can go to find the Lariat Lounge.
This show, the Lariat Lounge, the podcast, we're coming at you once a week, every week, wherever you get your podcasts. You can find us on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever else you get your shows, you'll find us. We're over on Instagram, the Lariat Lounge Live. No, that's wrong. That's where we'll be this Saturday.
That's where we'll be.
We're over on Instagram at the Lariat Lounge Podcast. That's where you're going to find your link on the story to join us at the Lariat Lounge Live this Saturday.
Indeed.
And as always, you can send us an email at thelariatlounge@gmail.com.
Absolutely. Listen, it's no coincidence that Skeener made that mistake because we're going live so much more now than we ever have in the past. I mean, like I said, these things are coming freaking rapid fire, brother. And I don't know when the next Saturday night's main event is, but WrestleMania season is indeed upon us. And so, the storylines are going to thicken, and we're going to be up here talking about wrestling as much as they will allow us to do. And because I set the schedule, we'll be doing it just as much as WWE does. So, hey, guys, welcome. Glad you're here. And listen, if you're enjoying what it is that you've been listening to, this is episode 45, people. We are 45 episodes in. That's a really cool milestone in and of itself. It means we are 5 weeks away from episode 50. So, please come and join us for episode 50, but I'm glad that you're here now. And if you like what it is that we're doing, please give us a like rating wherever it is that you're listening to this podcast. It's a small thing for you, but trust me, it matters so much to the algorithm gods, wherever it is that you are listening. So we really do appreciate it. Honestly, we do. But hey, enough with the fluff. Let's get to the stuff. Skeiner. So, man, Saturday night's main event is in the books. The big takeaway of that evening is not Cody versus Jacob that didn't get a finish. It's not the fact that the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions are still the same people. It's not the fact that AJ and Nakamura had a really great, awesome matchup. It is the fact that one NWO Sammy Hogan has decided that he is going to take over creative and he's going to make things happen for himself. What do I mean by that? In case you were under a Saturday night's main event rock and did not get wind of this, Sami Zayn defeated Randy Orton, Damian Priest, and Trick Williams to become the number one contender for Drew McIntyre's WWE Championship at the Royal Rumble, where he will take on Drew in front of the Saudi crowd. And, listen, big up to Sami Zayn. I am happy that you're happy. And I don't have any real personal animus towards Sami Zayn. I'm just not. I feel like this could have gone in two other directions that would have been better. But, that's just my opinion. Sami Zayn has, all the ability to, wheel and deal with the best Hogans backstage. And, I'm sure, I'm almost certain, Skeiner, that in the lead up to this match, the writer's room was happening. And, if you watch WWE Unreal, you know what the writer's room looks like. And of course, everything that's on WWE Unreal is 100% true. And I don't doubt any of it. And I know that they were sitting in there and they were just kicking around ideas in that well-lit room with the glass table. And I believe that Sami Zayn just walked in there and they turned and they looked and they said, "Hey, man, what are you doing?" And I think Sammy sat down with shades on during the nighttime. And he said, "Here's what I'm thinking." And he slid some paper across the desk. And they looked at it and they said, "Sammy, how did you get writer's papers?" He said, "Don't worry about that. Just read it." And they flipped through some of the pages. And you know what it said on every page? Sammy wins. And they just flipped through the page. It says, "Sammy wins. Sammy wins."
We took a couple months off, but we're back. We're back to full U.S. title, Sammy.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. This is why he dropped the title. This is why he agreed to drop the title, because he said, "I got bigger plans. I got bigger plans. I just need to go find the right paper, the right ledger." But yeah, Sami Zayn wins. I thought that the match was pretty good. I think that the win for one tricky two times, Mr. Lemon Pepper Steppers, would have made this match top tier. But Sammy's cool. And listen, I'm just joking around, guys. Sammy's fine. Shout out to Sami Zayn, winner of the match. Skeiner, your thoughts on our main event for Saturday night's main event and how Sammy Hogan's wheeling and dealing with official WWE ledgers has probably led to a string of victories that we'll see over the year of 2026 that don't make any sense?
I thought the match was great. We had a good time watching it. You can go check out Lariat Lounge live. Check the replay as we watched it live together with some of you all. But it wasn't my preferred outcome. I thought, during the match I was rooting for Trick to win. I thought that would have been fun. I still think that maybe giving Randy Orton that shot would have been good too. But we'll see how far they go with this and see if this is a one and done. I certainly, at my own peril, do not believe that Sami Zayn is going to win this match and take the title off Drew, which may be naive of me given who we're talking about, but we'll see how it goes. It'll be a good match. There's some history there with Sammy and Drew that they can play on, and we'll see what they get up to this Friday on SmackDown from Riyadh at believe what is that? What'll that be? Sometime in the middle of the day Friday. And
Probably some early start
yeah,
time.
I mean, it was a good match. It was fine. The prospect of Drew and Sammy does not excite me as much as a couple of the other outcomes would have, but it's what we're getting, so it'll be there. It's not a selling point for the pay-per-view anyways. It's
I agree. I agree.
it kind of sucks to say, but the WWE Championship here is kind of an undercard match on this show.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and listen, this is I would think this is the PLE of the year. If you're talking about the big four, which is your Royal Rumble, your WrestleMania, your Survivor Series, and your SummerSlam, that this is the one PLE that of the two that are themed specifically around matches that is always the eye grabber of the entire PLE. I mean, this PLE is built around the Royal Rumble. And it doesn't matter if it was Drew McIntyre as the champion, CM Punk as champion. It wouldn't matter who is champion, right? They always take a back seat to the Rumble because the Rumble is such a spectacle, and rightfully so.
And a possible AJ Styles retirement match.
Very true.
So, this year, it's even bigger.
Well, yeah, for sure. For sure. And, listen, if this is a one and done for Sami Zayn and Drew, because, we might as well do it, and in light of the fact that, my dear sweet Tricky Two Times is not in this match, I'm going to throw it up for him and then say, let's talk about it. So let's go ahead and talk about Sami Zayn and Drew McIntyre. Since we're already here, we know who the winner was of the Fatal 4-Way, so we know that Drew and Sami are going to be one of the either one or two matches that will be outside of the men's and women's Royal Rumble matches separately. If this is going to be a one and done, I don't know what this does for Sami Zayn. This pick, I'll be real with you. The fact that they're doing a WWE Championship match at the Royal Rumble, I don't know. Like, it would make sense to do this championship match at the Royal Rumble if you really had a story that you had been building to, because it is a proper Big Four PLE, right? And yes, the Royal Rumble matches take center stage, but this is a Big Four PLE, and it is home to many great blow-off feud matches over the decades. So far be it from me to insinuate that somehow there should be no other matches that should be marqueed like the Royal Rumble matches themselves. That's certainly not what I'm saying. However, with Sami Zayn and Drew McIntyre, this build to this has been so short and so shotgun.
I mean, we haven't even had a build yet. So
no, it's been Sami Zayn essentially walking around and talking with all three of the people who were participating in this.
Yeah, the build was more towards that match than it was to Drew yet, at least as far as I think. I mean, Drew, he preemptively got out there and attacked people, which I kind of like, and we spoke about that, I think, last episode, that
yes,
it's a little different. Drew's going to get out in front of his challengers and he's going to make sure he gets his before he gets got.
Yes.
And, but we'll see. I mean, I think it'll be a short thing. I don't know. We'll have to see.
Well, Drew's not dropping the title.
Hope not.
And see, and I swear, Skeener, your thought, your statement is what I was thinking, right? Like I hope not, because the other thing that WWE has had a history of in the recent years is kind of screwing over Drew McIntyre when it comes to championships. You know what I mean? Whether it is intentional or not, right? I don't think it was intentional because obviously WWE did not concoct COVID. So nobody would have thought that we were going to have a global pandemic, that the world was going to shut down, and Drew McIntyre just happened to be the guy who, quote unquote, carried the company on his back during the pandemic era, right? And, when he dropped the title and then the fans are starting to come back into the building and the seats, we stepped directly into the Roman Reigns era. You know what I mean? And his championship run is swiftly forgotten behind the epic 4-year bloodline story arc. So, it's not easy to forget that if you're a fan of Drew McIntyre. And then he wins the
So
title.
you're erasing the Miz's title reign there.
I didn't even
That
remember
also came after Drew.
I did not
Yes,
even remember it.
Bobby beat Drew, right? Bobby beat Drew, and then Miz had it for a couple weeks after he beat Otis for Money in the Bank. And then Miz had the title for a couple weeks. I believe that was early 2021-ish.
So who beat Miz for it?
Bobby won it back. And then we got the Bobby and Drew to open up Mania.
Okay, and then what? And that's when Drew won, and then
No, Bobby retained.
oh, okay. Because then
At
Bobby
Mania.
lost the title to Roman.
Brock. I
and
believe,
then
right?
and he lost it
Was
to
it?
Brock, and then Roman beat Brock.
When he unified them, yes, I believe.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, that's what happened.
Okay. Oh wait, because Roman
Did
was
he?
the
Am
Roman.
I remembering this right?
Yeah, Roman at
was
one
the
point
he was the Universal Champion.
he was the Blue
at
Universal
first.
Champion.
Yes.
Okay.
And then I believe him and Brock unified the belts at Mania, correct? Yeah, at night 2 of the Dallas Mania.
What was
Because
that,
night
30
1 was Stone
what was that,
Cold and
30
KO.
Was that 38?
8. Yeah.
Okay. So yes, that's the shot with Roman walking backwards down the ramp, holding the belts together, and
Yes.
that's in the marquee shot.
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, listen. There were title reigns that you just mentioned there, brother, that I don't even remember, and even after you said them, I still don't remember them. I don't remember Miz's title run. I barely remember
Don't remember
Bobby's.
that magical 2 weeks.
I swear on everything, I don't. Like, I don't remember his title run. I barely remember Bobby's.
Well, I mean, this is peak Thunderdome, so
Yeah,
can't really blame you. But
I mean, listen, Drew picks up that title off of Seth at 40 and immediately loses it
briefly,
to
yes.
Damian with the cash in. And then you think that Drew is going to beat Roman before that, right? Where they were at, what was it, Clash in the Castle?
Yeah, that's when we kind of thought it may happen.
Yeah, and he didn't get it there, but he's got it now, and he wins it on a random European Raw, which, granted, that was a big match for sure, but it was still Raw. And so the idea...
Some would call it SmackDown, but point taken.
Oh, I'm sorry, SmackDown. But yeah, still, like, it still kind of feels like Drew has not gotten that big stage moment that he's going to get. Like, he's going to get it at the Rumble. He's going to get it at the Rumble. It's still not going to be stateside, right?
Yeah,
So,
I mean, COVID is the real thing that happened here, because he got his big moment in the 2020 Rumble. He faces off with Brock. He claymores and eliminates Brock. He wins that Rumble. Then, obviously the plan is to crown him at Mania, but COVID,
Mhm.
So he just was a victim of circumstance there, I think. But since then, he has been consistently one of the best parts of the company.
Absolutely.
By far. So he deserves it. I mean, just anything he's touched, that all this heel work has been so good. So, yeah, he doesn't need to lose here. We really don't need to think about that. He needs to get past this, and maybe we're setting up for a big WrestleMania title angle for Drew McIntyre. I don't see where else we're going.
I would love that for him. Like, I would genuinely love that for him. And in order for that to happen, this Sami Zayn thing needs to be a one-off. It needs to be a one-off so that Drew can start being put in place to set up whoever his WrestleMania 42 opponent is going to be. Which, obviously we'll figure that out at the Rumble, but it depends on who they pick, right? Because there's only one winner for the men's Rumble, and they can either choose the World Heavyweight Championship or the WWE Championship. So whoever does not get picked off the Rumble does not have that built-in Rumble storyline, which I would think.
Well, we're here, brother. So why don't you let's just do it? Do you think the winner of the Royal Rumble is going to challenge Drew McIntyre, with the other option being CM Punk?
Okay, so I feel like, well, I don't know, man, because who is lined up currently as a CM Punk competitor. It was Braun Breaker, but he lost that match on Raw. And now all of the Vision are in the Rumble, right? And they've already set up
with
a
an
plan.
agreement
Yeah.
that they are going to help Braun Breaker win.
So unless you believe, which I don't, that somebody in the Vision is going to turn and try to take that opportunity for themselves, I think that the Vision are going to do exactly that. And they're going to try and help Braun Breaker win the Rumble. Now, let's say that plan comes into full fruition. Then that means that Braun Breaker is likely going to go after CM Punk. He's likely going to go after CM Punk because that's who they've been building this story around. It would make less sense for him to win and then say he's going to go challenge Drew. They're on a different show. Like, it doesn't make a lot of sense. That means that somebody wouldn't have to be building a story to challenge Drew. That I don't know who that is. Because of that.
You want me to tell you the one possible winner of the Royal Rumble that would challenge Drew McIntyre?
Who's that? I swear I figured you were going to.
I mean, because it does. Like, it's there. I think that's the way the Rumble winner would challenge Drew. Do I think Brock's going to win the Rumble? No, but it wouldn't shock me. I would be less shocked if Brock Lesnar wins this Rumble than I was with Jay winning last year.
I'm going to tell you who I think, if I had to just off the top of my head, who I think should win the Rumble. I think it should be Obafemi. I think Obafemi makes his debut at the Royal Rumble, his main roster debut, and wins it. That would be the feather in the cap that they could give to him, right? No rookie on their first PLE, right? Or their first appearance on the main roster be
second appearance on the main roster.
Well, no, I don't mean like second appearances in like this is the first time he showed up on Raw or SmackDown. Like when he shows up at the Royal Rumble, he will be a main roster member.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And his first appearance will be at the Royal Rumble. So he will have that feather in his cap that he shows up his first day at work on the main roster and wins the Rumble. He and Drew had that run-in with Cody.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? During that match. And they had that square off. And I remember thinking when that happened, I was like, okay, that is something that I did not know I needed in my life, but now I need to see that. And Oba can carry his weight on the microphone. And you've got some built-in history there. I think that would be a great showing for Obafemi to win that Rumble and shut down the Vision's plan, right? To try and, curtail the Rumble in Breaker's favor. That's also going to give us a Breaker versus Oba square off, right? And let's have the Vision lose that. And then you can put more division within division by having maybe more than one of those people get entered into the Elimination Chamber. Or you just have one of them and it'd be Breaker. Breaker could win it, and then he could set himself up for whatever it is that they're going to try to set him up with at Mania. But I think if I had to make a pick, it would be Obafemi. That would be my...
And is Obafemi challenging Drew?
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
See, I could see that. I think it's more likely that we set up Brock and Obafemi for Mania in the Rumble.
Explain that.
Yeah, they have a show off in the Rumble. One eliminates the other, whichever way it may be. They're not happy because this is another big beefy man trying to challenge their beef status. And it writes itself. It doesn't need to be overcomplicated.
Just a beef
But I think, yeah, and I do think, I think we're getting towards the end of Brock, and this may be his last year. And I think we may do that. I think he may put over Obafemi on the way out. I could also see them setting up Braun Breaker and Brock out of the Rumble.
Now, I like both of those. I like both of those ideas.
Right? I think that's where they're going. I don't think we are. Now, look, I'm not saying we will never get another Brock Lesnar title match, but I don't think it's going to be a headliner. Except I really could see them giving Brock and Drew the stage in front of a crowd, which they never got. Drew just got to squash him in front of no fans, essentially. Because he did squash him, right? I'm remembering that correctly.
I believe it might have been
it was like less than 5 minutes, I think.
Yeah, I think it was. I feel like it was pretty definitive.
Drew went longer with the Big Show than he did with Brock Lesnar. I do remember that.
It was definitive. Here's the thing,
Mhm.
though. Do you, with all of the potential that is going to be in this Rumble for big names that are current roster superstars to capitalize off of winning the Rumble, do you give the Rumble win to Brock?
No, I don't think so, but I also wouldn't be shocked. I'm saying it's a definitive possibility. It's up there. He's in my top 4, I'd say.
I'm going to tell you what I like about 2 of the ideas that you brought up. So, 1, Brock and Oba eliminate each other.
Mm-hmm.
I like that idea because, like the Oba Femi and Drew McIntyre run-in, right? There is a lot of tension that could be set there. And on top of the fact that you eliminate someone from the ability to challenge for a world championship through the Rumble victory. And so that is like immediate tinderbox flames, right? And you've got 2 big meaty men that are due to slap some man meat. It's going to be a good match. You know what I mean? Like, it's going to be something that's going to be a spectacle. And listen, I agree with you. If Brock is winding down, like a lot of the wrestlers from that era are, to put over someone like Oba would be huge, 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 huge. The other side of the coin, if that were to happen to Braun Breaker, it would have an interesting wrinkle to it, aside from having the same effect that it would have with Oba. It would have this additional wrinkle because of Paul Heyman's involvement with the Vision. And that is a lot of narrative storytelling that can be told on the back end, with Heyman's being conflicted, or with Heyman being stuck between a rock and a hard place, or a Brock and a hard place. Because though he is 1000% with the Vision, I don't think there's going to be that thing that they did with him and his allegiance to Roman versus CM Punk versus Seth that they did last year. But it'll be more so that Paul is squarely in the corner of the Vision, and he is pissed off that Brock would do this to his guys, right? Like, we're supposed to be cool, you know? And then Brock's like, we are cool, Paul, but I don't give a F about your guys. And, you know, of course, Breaker is the hothead, and there's a lot that you could play here, right? There's much more of a easily defined story if you wanted to go that route with Breaker versus Brock. And then with Oba and Brock, you can just let the animosity there, let these 2 massive men, you know what I'm saying, do battle, and just they could have so many great pull aparts, you know what I'm saying? And where Breaker already has the backing of Paul Heyman, the Vision, for Oba to strike down Brock, that puts him in the Brock Lesnar status. You know what I'm saying? And it just lets him be one of these tent poles that WWE is reestablishing currently. We're reestablishing The Undertaker and the Streak under Gunther. Gunther is now becoming the freaking guy who's going on a streak of retiring people, right? Now you're reestablishing the Beast with the Ruler. And I like both of them. Both of those ideas circle around the idea that Brock does not win the Rumble, right? But then it also means that Oba doesn't win the Rumble, and that would also mean that Breaker doesn't win the Rumble. So if that's the case, who then, Skeener, do you think would win the Rumble under those circumstances?
I have not wavered in who I think is winning this Rumble.
Yeah.
And that is the OTC is winning this Rumble.
Oh,
and we are getting CM Punk and Roman Reigns, a match, 14 years in the making now, of all the real life drama, and 2 of the biggest stars of this era, of any era in wrestling, with just rabid fan bases, fan support. We are getting that on the biggest stage.
Okay.
And we don't even know. And the key that can throw pretty much that can be turned and throw every plan into a mess for me is we still don't know about Seth Rollins.
Right.
Because if Seth Rollins is able to be back, he will factor into a big time match at WrestleMania somehow.
Yes, yes. I do not disagree. I do not disagree. You know, a wild idea just floated through my head. I'm gonna float it real quick and then I'm gonna step away from it because the likelihood of it is probably less than 5%. But imagine if Seth is able to return at some point before Elimination Chamber. Okay. Let's say Breaker does not win the Rumble. Well, I'm trying to think because what the idea flowed through my head was that what if you had both world championships being held by the Vision?
Kind of tough to get there, I think.
It is. It is, right? Yeah, that would be weird. That would be weird. Forget I said it. It just flowed through my head as many things do. But yeah, you'd have a struggle getting there, particularly because the WWE Championship being on SmackDown, Drew's holding it. So, okay, I like your idea of Roman winning the Rumble.
Roman is winning this Rumble. I've been there for months. I'm not wavering off it.
I'm not mad at it. I feel like, I'm not mad at it, one. Two, it's definitely something that the Saudis would love to see, and you know they have their hands in this. Three, it's not something that WWE would be opposed to, and therefore it aligns with what the Saudis would want to see on Saturday. Roman wins the Rumble. He challenges Punk. I don't not like that. I think the story, it writes itself, and you can do Roman.
We still haven't gotten the one-on-one match. Which we have to.
And you can do it in a different light because there's no Heyman involved. And you can let Punk and Roman kind of stand on their own with that match. That still leaves the idea of, well, and we're not going past the Rumble here. So if Roman wins the Rumble, then Drew beats Sammy. Drew still has the title. And then I guess we just got to figure out what we're going to do with Drew. That would make me think that the winner of the Elimination Chamber would probably be a SmackDown superstar.
Yes.
God, the likelihood of it being Cody again is high.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I don't think so. I think you've got, let's just go ahead and get all the Rumble stuff out now because this ties into it. I would say Roman's my top pick.
Sure.
I would say Braun Breaker, for me, is the next most likely.
Okay.
I think you can't ignore the possibility that Sami Zayn might win the Rumble.
You might use it mean he might beat Drew.
No, I think he could lose to Drew and then maybe win the Royal Rumble.
Get the fuck out of here. I'm sorry I dropped that F-bomb. But
I wouldn't be happy, but I think it's there. And I also think, again, this is another at my own peril. I don't think it's impossible that LA Knight wins the Royal Rumble or wins an Elimination Chamber to challenge Drew at WrestleMania.
That I like because I feel like LA Knight is due.
Yeah, I think that's why I think it's possible.
However, let's just remember this though. The Vision put him out.
Correct.
So the idea that he would come back, win the Rumble, and challenge Drew, I could see it on one hand, but that would A, have him jumping shows. B, two, that would totally just be like, okay, I'm going to forget about what happened to me and why I went out, and I'm just going to jump to the other show and challenge that champion. Like I like
think in
it.
This scenario, you could have this be the quote unquote mega push where he's got targets on both shows. He's on both shows a lot. I think it would work. I don't know if it will happen, but I think it's distinctly possible.
Okay. So I am vehemently opposed to the idea of Sami Zayn losing. No, I'm not opposed to him losing the match.
I'm not on board with it. I'm just telling you, it's something that could come to pass.
Listen, I'm gonna be real with you.
It's a future that's possible that we need to avoid.
If there are fans in the world that are like myself, okay, I would think that their voices would be loud and their voices would be fervent, vitriolic even. If Sammy were to be given this championship match, lose the championship match, and then join the Rumble after, mind you, after we were told on, what is it? I want to say it was Monday Night Raw with Finn Balor that there are no more spots.
Well, I'm assuming that is Raw's quota.
And you don't, okay, and Sammy has not reached the.
Look, I'm just telling you. We better hope Sami Zayn's not in that Rumble, because if he is, there's a chance.
Well, listen.
Not saying it's a great chance.
If Sammy Hogan is booking himself, it's one of them pages where it says Sammy wins.
Mm-hmm.
Sammy wins.
Exactly.
The only way I'm gonna take a loss is if I win later.
There you go.
I genuinely hope that is not the case. I agree with you. I think that my odds-on pick to win this Rumble on Saturday is going to be Roman. That makes too much sense for Roman to win, to challenge Punk, tie this story up. It makes all the sense in the world. My second pick, I can go with my logic or I can go with my heart. And ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I tend to go with my heart. So I'm going to go with my heart on this one. I think Obafemi should win the Rumble. I think Obafemi should win the Rumble. I think he challenges Drew, and we build up to this car collision of a match that is going to be at WrestleMania. Who wins it? Don't know. But that's where I think we build. If I had to pick a third place pick, I could see the Rumble winner being Braun Breaker.
I think far and away, Braun and Roman are the two most likely possibilities.
Unless Seth comes back. Like, what if Seth comes back as a surprise entrant in the Rumble?
But then what do? Do you really run back CM Punk and Seth Rollins? Or do we get back to, like I said, them running back the triple threat, which I said oh so long ago.
Running back Roman
right
Punk
into what I told you. Yeah. But this time for the title.
I mean, that would be so peak carbon copy. I mean, not only are we in Vegas twice, but we have the same match twice.
Twice in a lifetime, brother.
Yikes. Yikes on bikes. That in and of itself makes me
But that's why I don't think Seth wins the Rumble, is neither outcome for that makes sense.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I agree. I think my number one pick and your number one pick is probably the obvious pick, and that's Roman. You know, the fact
no, go ahead.
No, I'm just going to say the fact that we're getting announcements for Roman returning at the Rumble. I mean, I don't think that that's particularly indicative, but the storyline that you laid out just makes too much sense for that to not happen. And listen, I am a firm believer in Occam's razor that, you know, the simplest idea is usually the right one, and that makes the most sense. And it almost makes too much sense for them to not do that. Particularly with the breadcrumbs that have already been laid out. And you talking about long-term story? Yeah, no, I can see that. I could definitely see that.
Well, we're on the Rumble. Any surprise entrants? Because I think we've got 16 of 30 announced now. Any surprises you wanna put out there so when they show up you can say you called it?
Now hold on, 16 of 30.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm looking at the
I have the
right
list
now.
if you want me. Yes.
So
I
go ahead.
I've got Cody.
Yep.
Jey Uso.
Yep.
Solo Sikoa. Jacob Fatu. Rey Mysterio. Gunther. Dragon Lee.
Yep.
Penta. Roman Reigns. Braun Breaker. Logan Paul. Bronson Reed. Austin Theory. Javon Evans, who had another announcement during commercial, I believe.
Yep.
Obafemi and Brock Lesnar. I think we're both very on board that we will get Chris Jericho.
Yeah.
The one I want to posit, maybe just hopefully,
okay,
Big E.
Ooh, God, I would love it.
Because we've stopped hearing about it. You know what I mean? And maybe that's because, you know, it is what it is. And maybe it's just me hoping. But I would love that.
Yeah.
Obviously, I think everyone would love it.
Oh, I mean, dude, talk about the feel-good moment of the year. Easily at the start of the year, too. And it would be so hard to top.
And then have Braun Breaker eliminate him.
Oh, that would hurt so bad. You know what? I don't honestly.
That's a good way to get. Or Logan Paul. Imagine Big E comes back and Logan Paul chucks him out.
Oh, that would. I mean, listen, if you're trying to reinsert Big E like directly into the main event, that's a way to do it. I mean, listen, even if he did make the return, he's not winning it.
Correct.
He's not winning it. Not without them building a good
Same way
story.
Chris Jericho is not winning it.
Jericho's not winning it. He's not winning it. Hold on, I'm putting together a little list here. So we've got our 16 people here. Let's add Big E. And you know, I'll put a star beside that.
I would love it.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm just gonna will it to happen. I'm just gonna keep thinking it, and maybe it'll happen.
So Big E there, Jericho. Okay, who else could potentially show up here in the Rumble? That does not necessarily mean that you are on the main roster. But if we're talking about,
we'll get some NXT guys.
For sure. But if we're talking about some main roster people, I think we see Trick Williams.
Yeah, for sure.
I think we see Trick. I don't know if we see Orton. I mean, we could. Anybody could literally be in it.
You think they're going to Saudi and they're not playing voices?
True. All right.
Let's be practical here.
All right. So let's throw Orton in there. And if we're going to do that, we might as well throw Priest in there too. Mm-hmm. All the people who are in that Fatal 4-Way, except for Sammy.
I'm less sure about Priest, but.
Now, why would you say that? They need bodies.
Yeah, but he's not Randy Orton.
True. But you aren't going to have but a handful of.
I do not think the Crown Prince is demanding Damian Priest. I think he's demanding Randy Orton.
You know what? I agree with you, but I also don't think that the Crown Prince is dictating every person that's in the match. Because I don't think the Crown Prince picked Dragon Lee either. You know what I'm saying?
You don't know that.
I don't, but I also don't know that he's going to say no to Damian Priest.
Well, look, Damian Priest isn't below Bigelow, but he's not far above him on my list.
Yikes. I'm going to put Priest's name in here with a star beside it just because Skeens thinks that the Crown Prince doesn't want him.
Yeah, I don't think he's not a big Punisher Martinez, Mark.
I mean, listen, I don't think that the Crown Prince is a huge Dragon Lee mark either. Or Big Bronson Reed or Javon Evans, no disrespect. And Austin Theory, come on.
No. The Crown Prince and Vince definitely sat and talked about Theory.
Really? Okay, so what we're saying is WWE is utilizing Vince and Kennedy McMahon in the background.
No, I just think in years past, Vince was like, "Hey, pal, we got this young kid that you better watch out for."
And the Crown Prince has just remembered Theory all these years later, and it's like, "Oh, Theory, I want him."
I mean, if Vince tells you to be aware of a guy, hey, was Vince right on Drew? He was. Was he right on Roman? Yes. I'm just saying. The track record is that Theory is your next tribal chief, essentially.
Yikes. The what is it? What did Heyman call him? Heyman dubbed him something.
I forget.
It wasn't great. But I can't remember what it is. It's not the problem. It's I have no idea. That just means the
problem solver Tyson Tomko.
Not Tyson Tomko. But okay. So, do you think we see Joe Hendry again, or would the Saudi Prince be like, I don't want him?
Depends. I think there's a good possibility. I'm not selling out for it.
Well, we'll put his name here provisionally. Okay. I mean, I LA Knight.
I think LA Knight's in.
Okay. LA Knight.
Look, I think it's, if you want to get deep into the conspiracy theory.
Okay.
I don't think it's a coincidence that the LA Knight stuff from Unreal is being pushed out there as a big deal.
Yeah.
I think it's sympathetic marketing of him, essentially.
Okay.
And maybe I'm willing this to happen, like a lot of things, but I could see that is that they're going to capitalize on that.
So you think that the
and you can cross-brand with Unreal.
So, right. So you think that the footage specifically, I think what you're talking about is the verbal chastising of Triple H?
Yes.
Okay. I could see that. Listen, I am definitely on board with the idea of LA Knight being set up for something bigger. And I could definitely see that Unreal tie-in. I could definitely see him in the Rumble. If he doesn't win it, he could have another shot at a title match at Elimination Chamber. We just have to see what WWE would do with that, because his last feud was with Division, where he got tsunamied on top of a car and he's been out this whole time. So, like, unless you bring him back and you put him in a storyline that centers around the Vision, I can't quite understand how you tie the loose end up in a way that is neatly done, because that was such a big story arc, in my opinion, for LA Knight, because the Vision is being placed at the top of the card along with where Seth Rollins was standing. And so for LA Knight to be in that scene after the dust settled, after, Punk is champion, LA Knight is in this picture and he gets taken out by the Vision. How do you step away from that cleanly? I don't think you do. I think you come back to it in some way, shape, or form. Maybe LA Knight is a person who comes back in the Rumble and cost Breaker his spot.
Also possible.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, I don't know. I don't have it all figured out. That's for someone else to figure out.
I mean, listen, if we were to go that route though, brother, that could cleanly give Brock to Oba. You know what I'm saying? And LA Knight comes in and he ensures that Breaker does not win. And then you can spin off that with Breaker and LA Knight. You got Oba and Brock. And then the winner of the Rumble is Roman. That sets up Roman and Punk. That still leaves Drew without a dance partner, and you can pick that person at Elimination Chamber. Mm-hmm. I mean, introducing LA Knight into that is honestly the way that I think you make clean breaks in these convergences that happen at the Royal Rumble into storylines that you can then tell other things off of. Because the fact that Otis and Tozawa are the number one contenders.
Yeah, let's talk about this briefly. Didn't they already have a match? Like, I did not imagine that segment where Jay goes, man, I don't want to do that to y'all. And then they're like, no, Jay, we want a shot. And he's like, okay, you all get a shot.
Yeah.
And then they just had this match anyways, where they just won the shot that they were already presumably given.
I felt like they treated that like a throwaway. I feel like WWE treated it like a throwaway.
I mean, I guess give these guys some sort of credibility before they lose to the Usos, right?
I mean, do they?
I mean, I think that's what they were trying. I don't know. It was fine.
I mean,
I don't want it to come off that I dislike Otis and Tozawa.
No, I hear you. What I'm saying
they are.
What I'm saying is, first of all, this whole tag team thing with the Usos has been significantly hamstrung by the fact that Jimmy cannot travel out of the country, right? And so Jay has had to carry this whole thing. And the way that WWE has been booking Jay, he's just showing up and talking a bunch of smack, which honestly is not his greatest asset. And he's gotten a lot better at it, but it's not his strong suit. And I feel like the story that they're building to is still based off of the back of this Jey Uso, who was once the world champion, right? Has now been bumped out of that spot, and he's carrying the tag team championships solo because Jimmy can't travel, and the man is acting like he's still the world champion. And then they lose. They lose because Jimmy is not around. Jimmy shows up. The Usos are not in sync, and they drop those tag team championships. I think they dropped those tag team championships. I don't know if it's to Otis and Tozawa, because that would hurt worse than dropping it to the New Day, right? But the New Day just lost. They just lost to Otis and Tozawa. Did they stay when the Usos were giving that title shot to Otis and Tozawa?
I don't think so.
Okay.
But so I'm going to be honest, that was not a time when I was glued to the TV and every single thing that was said.
Sure.
So it could have been said and I missed it.
Sure. Well, and listen, that was on Raw, right?
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm scrolling down because they wrestled a match.
I think that was the last match before the main event.
Oh,
if I recall.
Okay. They didn't even have, I'm looking on WWE.com and they don't even have a section on the recap with that tag match on it.
I saw it. It happened.
Wait, okay. Am I on the wrong Oh, wait, I am. I'm sorry. Saturday Night's Main Event is what I was on. Raw. Okay. Let's see. Where was it? Okay. Yep. Here we are. So, yeah, Alpha Academy beat the New Day. Let's see. Did they say when it was going to be? Okay. No, they didn't. I don't think they announced when that match was going to be. Yep. Julius to win. Earn a WWE Tag Team match against the Usos. It doesn't say when. The likelihood of that happening at the Rumble.
Well, it's 0.
So it's probably going to happen
I
on
think.
the Raw after the Rumble.
I don't think we're adding any more matches. Do you?
I mean,
Because right now we have 2 Rumbles and 2 matches.
Okay, so what? So all right, we got the 2 Rumbles. We got the undisputed WWE Championship match, and what is the other match? Oh, well, yeah, that's probably it. So okay, then I'm assuming that title match,
because that's going to get some time, and the Rumbles will take some time.
True. So I'm assuming we must get that title match probably on the Monday after the Rumble.
Maybe.
The New Day are out of the competition, so they got to drop them to Otis and Tozawa.
I don't know. You're talking yourself into them losing.
I don't think they're going to hold it. I don't see the point. I don't see the point.
The more time that elapses, the more I'm worried. Like it was just a pivot back to the Usos, and they're going to forget about the Jay thing.
I mean, and listen, I'll say this:
but that's what I'm worried about.
If that's the route they go, then there may be some legitimacy to the idea that WWE is looking at the Jay Uso experiment as being over.
Yeah.
Because I mean, the tag team division is poo-poo water.
Like they could have decided like, okay, the best thing is the entrance. Let's just do the entrance and get him back to doing the tag team stuff that they were undoubtedly like good at, one of the best ever at. But it is what it is. It's not being a single star either.
Yeah, I mean, I don't agree. I could see where WWE may feel that way. I think Jay is a star. I think that the storyline that they were building seemed like it had some legs to it. If they were to pivot away from it, it would just be, in my opinion, a reason that WWE would be giving to just clean the slate for things that they feel like are bigger. And I don't know if it's even necessary. Like, you don't need Roman in that story for that to continue. I would not mind seeing Jimmy versus Jay again if you tell the story right. I
do think they deserve a shot to have that go off better at maybe a place or a stage where it won't be overshadowed in a way.
Yeah. SummerSlam.
And to be honest, I've never watched that match back. My memory is just watching from afar in the suite we were in at Mania.
Oh yeah, that did happen at 40.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think I watched it back one time. I mean, that was when I watched the whole card back after we got back from Philly. But I didn't watch that match specifically to watch that match. I was just kind of reliving the magic.
Mm-hmm.
But they could run it back if they tell the story right. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think Jay Uso is a star in and of himself. To me, Jay is not always the most compelling wrestler in the ring. This isn't me saying anything about his ability in the ring, like a lot of people were trashing him for. I think Jay is perfectly fine in the ring. I think he does really well when he has a really good dance partner with him. And if it's not built off of the dance partner themselves, the storyline makes all the difference. But that's the case with any story, right? So you could build a story right between Jimmy and Jay and this falling out between the two of them if you tell it right. And I feel like they were telling this really compelling story of Jay doubting himself, right? And then that doubt turning into this thing that was causing him to feel like he needed to be more like Roman to get over, and this situation that was forming between him and Jimmy because Jimmy did not like the person he was becoming. And it was just a good story that they were telling. I feel like you could pivot back to that, but I'm afraid that you could be right here. And if that's the case,
I'm not saying it's the right move. I'm just saying the longer it goes on, the more I'm afraid that's what's happening.
Yeah, well, and listen, I think part of this is the fact that what we were talking about earlier, which is with Jimmy having these travel restrictions, you are forced to build this story off of the backs of other people and just Jay. And it doesn't also help that this all transpires because they're on this relatively lengthy European tour, right? They're back in the States for a show, and then they're in Canada, and Jimmy can't go to Canada either. And now they're going to Saudi, and he can't go there either. Like, it just makes it so difficult, which sometimes it makes me feel bad for Jimmy because I'm sure he's happy for his brother. But I can't imagine that people don't get on the main roster and not want to be a star, right? Not want to have their moment to shine. And not everybody gets those moments as big as other people. But for somebody to be in a tag team with your twin, like Jimmy is with Jay, right? For them to be at the heights that they were at, to see your brother be catapulted, even if temporarily, into superstar status, for you to be someone who never really got that spot yourself must be tough. And to have so many things that are working against you, it must be tough. Whether you are the catalyst for those speed bumps, those roadblocks, that's another thing. But it must also be hard to know that, like, man, I can't go get these big Saudi checks. I can't go get these European tour adorations. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't go get those because legally I can't leave the state. Like, that's rough. And it makes it difficult when WWE is becoming more of an international brand for the company to feel like you're somebody who we can put in, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I gotcha.
In a marquee spot. That must be tough.
Well, we're what, an hour and 15 minutes into our Saturday night's main event recap, and we haven't really got to Saturday night's main event, but that's how it goes on the Lariat Lounge.
Yeah, I mean, listen. Sami Zayn obviously won the Fatal 4-Way. We talked about Sami.
Sami Zayn winning this derailed our entire discussion.
Yeah,
because I think that's the takeaway here.
Yeah, well, listen. First of all, I think that was by Sami's design. Okay, I think if you flip to page 76 in his pamphlet that he slid across the table, it says very clearly Sami wins, and that just throws everything off because whatever plans that WWE was writing, they're like, how do we fit Sami wins into this? And he's like, well, figure it out. But listen, we got Cody and Jacob. I said it when we were at the live stream.
It did not happen.
It didn't happen
as a match, but I loved that opening.
Oh, I thought it was a great opening. It was a great opening. And the match was all over the arena and the crowd loved it. And of course it did not get a finish because Drew McIntyre showed up with what can only appear to be a fresh dye job. And
yes,
by the way, the most inept security you've ever seen in your life. I've never seen security that was so bad. They can't pull anybody apart. There were a lot of very, very, very soft suggestions. Guys, can come on, guys. Don't go to the come on, guys, not down the stairs again. And then that one guy gets in between them as if that was a smart move. But yeah, Drew puts both of them through tables and the match is officially just called off because the two combatants cannot continue. The fact that Cody is in the Rumble. Is Jacob in the Rumble?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Jacob's in the Rumble.
So the likelihood of this continuing through the Royal Rumble, I mean, how high do you think this is?
Very high. And I like this. So, because we haven't got it yet. And I think it's a big opportunity for Jacob. And I think that's good. And I want it to keep going.
Do you think they eliminate each other?
Probably. I mean, you'd have to think they're involved with each other.
Yeah.
One way or the other.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe not eliminate each other, but I think one eliminates the other.
Sure. I mean, and yeah, one eliminates the other.
I can see Cody eliminating Jacob, and Jacob comes back in and just beats the crap out of Cody or something like that.
I mean, definitely cost him his opportunity to win.
Yes.
Yeah, and listen, Cody, that right there, sir, is a reasonable thing to be upset about. Because he's not supposed to be in the match, and he cost you the ability to stay in the match by either distracting you or pulling you over the rope or something like that. You have legitimate reason to be mad. But that cage match, I will never give that up. That is such a bonehead move. You have no reason to be mad at anybody but yourself. That match, that unsanctioned match there that happened at the start of Saturday Night's main event, should have been Cody versus Cody. But we can't do that because time travel doesn't exist. And so, it is what it is. But good opener. Again, it points to what we were talking about with Drew, that it's nice that Drew is a champion who is like, yeah, I'm not waiting for the end of this match. I'm interjecting myself and I'm kicking both of your asses because I don't care about who wins this match or if you get a fair opportunity to win. Like, it's great to have a solid heel champion, and Drew does an incredible job at that. Yeah, and then we got the women's tag team match where Rio retains against Liv Morgan and Roxanne Perez. I feel like I predicted that Roxanne and Liv were going to win this match.
I think you did.
Yeah.
I know we talked about it during the live stream, but I think that was your prediction.
I think that was my prediction. And I mean, obviously I was wrong here. And Big Mommy Cool obviously did not defeat Stephanie Vaquer. For some reason, I don't remember that match, but I feel like I would have remembered her. She won. Did she wrestle her? Yet?
I'm not sure if they had a one-on-one match yet.
No, because they had this triple threat. This a 6-person tag match, right? When Stephanie Vaquer, Rhea Ripley, yes. Versus the
and then they brawled. And then they brawled in the back.
I swear, I thought that the Stephanie Vaquer versus Raquel match was supposed to happen on Raw.
No, it's happening next week.
Okay, so next
Street
Monday.
Fight, right? Because she said she doesn't want a match, she wants a fight. And Adam Pearce said, okay, I'll give you a fight.
Okay, and that match
then that's Monday.
That match is for the title.
Believe. Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, Stephanie Vaquer is losing then.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I think she's dropping it there. That street fight, she asked for it, and the Judgment Day, other members did not win the tag championships. I think that they get involved. They beat down Stephanie Vaquer, and Big Mommy Cool takes that belt off her. But hey, look, that's a couple weeks ahead. Let's see.
Less than a week ahead. Next week.
Oh yeah, next week. Duh.
Yeah.
My timelines are running together because we got so many freaking PLEs.
Yeah.
I feel like they should be at least 2 weeks apart, but that's not what's happening. Okay, yeah, and then we have the phenomenal AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura match. Dude, that match was so freaking good. It was so good. And it just reminds you how good AJ Styles is. It reminds you how good Shinsuke Nakamura is. And like we said on the live stream, I definitely think we have passed the point where WWE is going to take Shinsuke and give him a legitimate championship title run. But this match,
I'm not sure he would want to do the things that he would need to do.
I agree. I agree. I feel like Shinsuke is very happy just coasting along, doing whatever it is that he wants to do when he wants to do it. And listen, all the respect in the world for that. Like, if that's the type of schedule you want, and I've said this before about Shinsuke, if that's what you want, hey, more power to you. I'm happy you're happy. And so I agree with you on that. I don't think that Shinsuke wants the responsibility that comes with that. So, but this is just another reason. Like, you see this and you're just like, man, like when he first came in and he first hit the main roster, he won a Rumble, right?
Mm-hmm.
They should have put the title on him.
Which is 8 years ago today. I saw it on my time hop. All the pictures came up.
Yeah.
Went to Philly and attended it with our good buddy Gage Johnson. We went to the Ring Rust live show they had there, and we had a good time.
Nice. Was that your first time meeting Ring Rust guys in person?
That was the first time I met everyone and met some of our buddies that also listened to the show. But yep, that was it.
Nice.
That was the beginning.
Nice. Who did he wrestle?
The beginning of the end.
So he won the Rumble. Who did he challenge?
AJ.
Oh.
And he turned heel on AJ. AJ beat him, and then he kicked AJ in the dick. Remember? After?
I forgot, but now that you've reminded me, yes, I do remember. I do remember. And listen,
it may not have been a kick, but there was a low blow.
AJ was red hot. No, I think it was a low blow. I don't think it was a kick. I remember Shinsuke's face. But yeah, AJ was super red hot at the time. So the idea of Shinsuke beating him, yeah, I get it. I guess for me sometimes, dude, I feel like when people win these big matches that like are qualifying matches for a championship, whether you are the Money in the Bank winner, whether you're the Royal Rumble winner, whether you're the Chamber winner, right? Because those are your big three shots at like a direct championship match, right? It sucks to see those people lose those opportunities. And so I oftentimes feel like when you win that match, it should almost be, unless your storyline is very, very good, those should almost be like shoo-ins. And you tell a good story around a title change. Particularly,
you think they had to get away with that or get away from that for a bit because it became too paint by numbers there? for a while, where
yeah.
it's just everyone that won Money in the Bank would cash in and win. Everyone that won the Rumble would go win the title. It just became a little too guaranteed
Yeah, I agree. You're
for a
right.
while.
You're right. And yeah, and as ideally as you would like to see those types of scenarios, it does become a bit repetitive and it can make the product very predictable and then less fun. So you do need to have some failed cash-ins and you need to have some Rumble winners who don't win the championship match that they're choosing. So yeah, I get it. And I guess Shinsuke was a casualty of that, but
In a way, but they tried to launch him into being a big heel. It just didn't click for some reason the way they wanted it to.
agreed. It just didn't click. But I mean,
But that match on Saturday was awesome.
it
We
was
had a great
amazing.
time watching that. There are a lot of callbacks to their New Japan match that they both wrestled right before the news broke that they
Yeah.
were all coming to WWE, and I vividly remember that and sitting there watching it and then getting the news that they were all coming to WWE. So it was a nice little throwback and leads us kind of into AJ and Gunther at the Rumble with AJ's career on the line.
Oh yeah.
And
Absolutely.
you said last week that you think Gunther could win and was AJ's last match, and I told you there's no way. And now I think it may be his last match.
Oh yeah.
I think Gunther may win.
What made you
Now,
change your mind?
I'm getting there. In no small part because of what Shinsuke posted and then quickly deleted on his Instagram story after Saturday.
Ooh. Okay, I'm not aware of this. Please fill us in.
So Shinsuke put. I don't feel like this is too dirt sheety because Shinsuke posted it,
True.
so it's not like I got dirt sheet info. But he posted and then quickly deleted like a long letter, essentially to and talking about AJ.
Mm-hmm.
And in there is a line where he said, "I remember last year when AJ told me he was going to retire at the Royal Rumble." And yeah, so yeah, we'll see. But the
Oh.
way then giving him the Punk thing on Monday, even though it didn't have a finish, and we'll get to that, giving him the Shinsuke match, and then I don't know, man. Maybe they do it and we're going all the way on Gunther, which is fine. But, not everyone's going to get the John Cena year-long farewell tour. As much as we love AJ, that's just not a thing that's done in wrestling, and I don't think it should be done all the time. But
Agreed.
yeah, I think there's a chance that he loses this.
Yeah.
It's still kind of 50-50 to me, but
Yeah.
it's going to make for a heck of a contest. It's going to make for some near falls and maybe an emotional moment at the end. I'm not sure.
Yeah. So my thought, I think that my thought of AJ losing to Gunther at the Royal Rumble was only reinforced on Monday. I think that to give that match a non-finish with Finn Balor's interference is a way to not signal to the fans anything that A, WWE is not going to deliver, and B, to not foreshadow the fact that he's going to lose. Because listen, he was never going to beat Punk.
And become number one contender.
No, that match was for the championship.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. Punk said, yeah, let's do it for the title.
Yeah, let's do it for the title. He was never going to beat Punk for the championship. That was just not going to happen, right? So the only outcome was either AJ was going to lose right before he goes into this Gunther match, which either then A, puts this storyline in place where AJ is doubting himself going into this match, right? Which I thought was probably the most likely scenario, and that he was also then going to lose to Gunther. But that's also this double sour note that you send him out on, right? He's not going to beat Punk.
And he doesn't really get much by quote unquote putting over CM Punk, or not he. CM Punk doesn't get much from that,
right? So like the only option would be this interference, and it just leaves this clean slate, right, for AJ going into Saturday against Gunther, and that was on Monday Night Raw. So we don't have another program before Saturday. So I just,
Now, I'm sure we'll get a video package, and the tone of that video package may reinforce that what we seem to both be thinking now, that this is it for AJ.
yeah. And listen, with the deleted post from Shinsuke, it's almost seeing the last page of the book and you weren't supposed to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like that just seems to confirm all of these plot points that we've laid out. That AJ loses. He loses to Gunther. You can't build Gunther as this guy who is ending people's careers, and he ends Goldberg, he ends Cena, but he can't beat AJ.
Probably, yeah, you're probably right there. And he
You know
had
what
a
I'm
great.
saying?
I loved the sit down with Michael Cole on Monday. Threatened to end Michael Cole's career.
He did.
Said, how long do you think are you thinking about sticking around, old timer?
Listen, I think next Saturday
Maybe
night's main
time.
event is going to be Gunther versus Michael Cole.
I
Is it-
almost asked that in the Rumble. Does Michael Cole dust off the singlet and get in there and challenge Gunther?
I genuinely don't think that's going to happen. I think
I
if there
don't
was
either.
anything that the Saudi Prince was like, I don't want that, it's Michael Cole in that orange singlet. But I don't think Gunther's going to retire him either. But yeah, that interview was interesting, and I did think that at one point when Gunther was first talking with Cole, I remember thinking to myself, Cole should really be selling this fear of Gunther a little more. You know what I'm saying? This was the guy who was definitely trying to choke you out of life not that long ago. You know what I'm saying? And I would think
but
that
Gunther has a history of struggling in matches against announcers, so
true, but at the same time, he struggled against Michael Cole.
we don't know that.
Say what now?
We don't know that
They didn't wrestle.
yet.
You know what? You're right. You're absolutely right. And that's why I said at the next Saturday night's main event, after Gunther retires AJ, he retires Michael Cole.
Anything can happen in the World Wrestling Federation, pal.
And listen, the WWF is alive and well. Vince is still in the writing room, people. He's back there. Watch Unreal. You'll see him. Yeah, dude. I mean, look, that's Saturday night's main event in a nutshell right there. That's the whole not premium live event. And then that takes us over to Monday Night Raw. We can go ahead and start with where we were just leaving off here with AJ, right? I mean, AJ loses to Punk, right? I'm sorry. He does not lose.
It's a non-finish. Yeah.
It's a non-finish because Finn Balor gets involved. And
Which, man, I like that. Because I came on here last week and said that is a nice little one-off for Finn.
yeah,
But are we getting a Finn Balor singles push just almost out of nowhere?
I don't know.
I mean, not out of nowhere, because he doesn't deserve it, but
Yeah.
I don't think we saw this coming. We thought it was a nice little shout for him as they went to his home country. But yeah, I think we're gonna see a little Finn Balor push.
Yeah, I mean, listen, where do we go? I mean, because like Punk is obviously not in the Rumble because he's one of the champs, and Finn Balor is not wrestling Punk again. He's not wrestling him at Rumble, and so
No.
do you have a little carryover program?
And the caveat being, we saw, as we alluded to earlier, Finn Balor comes up and says he wants to get in the Rumble, and Adam Pearce tells him Rumble's full. Sorry.
Yeah,
So Finn makes his statement by going out there and attacking the champ. So we'll see where they go, but I like it. I like it a lot, to be honest.
I mean, listen, it makes sense that he does something like this, and Punk then voluntarily continues his feud with Finn. Like, I don't think he does that for no reason, particularly because Finn is not going to be in the Rumble, right? So this gives Punk something to do for the time being.
And we followed up on the thread kind of with Liv having to kind of light a fire under Finn's ass.
Yeah, we did.
Because we get another segment with them. That was this Monday, right?
I believe it was.
We see them backstage, and Liv kind of tells him he's got to go in there and kind of make his own destiny, for lack of a better term, and not just sit around. So I like that. I liked all this. I'm excited to see it continue. I've always really liked Finn Balor, so we'll see if he can get a little push here coming into Mania and do something big with it.
Yeah. Now, Monday, this was also that segment with Liv and Finn. That was following this segment that Finn had with Punk, right? Where he gave Punk his flowers and Punk told him that he needs to
Yes.
drop the Judgment Day because hanging around
Yes.
losers like Dom.
Yeah, and that's what Liv was kind of upset about. She's like, he's just screwing with you, and what are you doing out there patting him on the back? Like,
Yeah,
stop being a loser, Finn. Go take care of business, essentially.
right. Yeah, listen, I think that's good for Finn. He gets his little extended program with Punk, and yeah, it could only work out to help him and further what the Judgment Day are doing. I wish I knew what Dom's injury was and some sort of understanding of how long he may or may not be out of commission.
Yeah.
Because
He'd be a nice Rumble surprise if he's ready, but
I swear I was about to
I have
say
no
the same thing.
indication he is.
Yeah, no, but listen, that is the setup for a perfect surprise return. But you can't bank on anything. You can't bank on that any more than you could bank on Seth showing up because we just have no idea. Isn't that like the Achilles heel of doing this anyway? When you're talking about like speculative picks, it's one thing to assume that this person from NXT or this person like Joe Hendry could show up, but Joe Hendry is not reported injured, and so you're not tackling that aspect of reality that we're doing with Dom and Seth. So they got to do something in the Judgment Day because the women aren't tag champs and Raquel has not clinched the world title yet. So, having Finn be the guy who's holding a consistent program alongside the girls makes all the sense in the world, And listen, I think that the Judgment Day is also suffering from a lack of JD McDonough. I think that their numbers being small is problematic in a way for the Judgment Day. And so, you got to utilize all the pieces that are there as most effective as you can. And so, yeah, putting Finn in this position is obviously not a bad thing. And seeing this dude around a title again is nice because we were reminded very fervently when we were in Ireland that this guy has not really been sniffing around the title picture since he won the inaugural Universal Championship and had to give it up the next night.
He challenged Roman, and I was there. And so here's the thing. I was there that match he challenged Roman. I forget what pay-per-view that was. Maybe a battle.
Was that the Heartbeat
It was
match?
In Columbus. Yes. And I thought I was seeing him beat it. When he rose from the dead with the heartbeat
Yikes.
And climbed the ropes, I thought it was happening. And so did everyone else in that arena. Now, again, maybe at home it was easy to not get caught up in that, but I can tell you 100% we were in that arena, we were all like, yep, this is it. He's about to just be the demon and beat Roman Reigns. And then the top rope collapsed. That is like a perfect illustration for me of like sometimes what's working in the arena isn't received the same at home.
I was about to say the same thing.
But that energy, like that's one of the craziest crowd energies I've ever felt is when that happened. And his music starts playing.
Yeah.
Like again, it just worked so well in that arena. That's when they brawled outside the ring. And before they went into a crowd, because that was fresh after COVID, Roman put the mask on before he went out into the crowd. That's one of my favorite moments.
And just to be clear, the heartbeat happens. Finn comes back to life. His music is playing. The crowd is in rapture.
And the lights are,
And he climbs the top.
Black and red lighting.
Yes, and he climbs the top rope, and then the rope collapses.
Yes.
Oof, and
we assume it's Paul Heyman, but we never got confirmation if it was Paul Heyman or just a happy accident.
Let me ask you this.
I remember we never actually sewed up that thread.
Did that happy accident suck the air out of the room?
A little bit, but in the best way.
How I don't understand.
It took us so high, and we're like, it's happening. It didn't. It brought me back to being a kid almost and living through the JBL title reign where you're like, surely this son of a bitch is going to lose this title now.
Mm-hmm.
and stuff had happened, and he'd win. He'd get choke slammed through the ring in the cage and crawl out from under the cage and from under the ring and stuff like that. It worked so well there. And it's interesting that like it obviously didn't work the same way for you at home,
Yeah.
but that was magical being there.
Yeah, I think had they followed up with something, like for one, the whole heartbeat thing at home, it did not hit the way that it may have done in live, in watching it live. And I get that.
Well,
That like
because you want to believe so badly because we're like well into the tribal chief thing, and
sure.
like whenever this ends, like it's a huge deal.
Right.
So like you're kind of convincing yourself like, oh, we're about to see this end, and I'm here and in this crowd for this moment that's gonna live forever. And
I'm
you work yourself up and convince yourself. And then that's why for me, like when the rug's pulled, it works so well. And you're like, oh.
Yeah. Well, listen, my
And
thing is not even the rug pull moment of the rope breaking. When you watch it when I watched it, the whole Finn coming back to life thing did not land. Like it looked corny. It looked so corny, and it just injected this element into this match that did not belong. And listen, we can have a whole nother episode about angles in wrestling that may or may not have landed. That could be a special episode or something. But I definitely think that on television, it did not land the same way. And it's definitely one of those things that WWE has not placed on on a lot of marketing anything for the product. It's not a high moment, in my opinion, but I can understand fully how moments like that landed in person. I'm sure the red light district match that Seth Rollins and The Fiend had was probably something that was more cool to see in person, but it did not register on TV. It just not, this didn't land that way. And some things are better served in live, on at a live show, but it just did not resonate in that way. And then on top of that, for the rope to break, from my perspective, it was like, they're trying stuff here, and it's not landing. And then the rope broke. I was like, well, if this was a mistake, it wasn't a happy mistake. It was a mistake that happened directly after something they should not have tried to do. But anyway, this is a good opportunity for Finn.
this is why people are tuned in to our Saturday night's main event recap and Royal Rumble preview to hear us debate the main event of Extreme Rules 2021.
Dude, listen, I hope people tune in to hear us talk wrestling.
Mhm.
I hope they tune in to hear us talk wrestling. This is what we do here. I mean, listen, and have we not covered almost everything else on Raw, SmackDown, and Saturday Night's Main Event, as well as the Royal Rumble? Because the only thing we haven't directly talked about is the women's
Well,
triple
we've
threat
got
match. I mean, not the women's triple threat, but the six woman tag match on Raw.
no, we got to go over the women's Rumble. But I'll tell you what we haven't talked about.
What was that?
Natalia is no more.
Oh no,
It is
Natty.
just Natty. It is just Natty.
And you know what?
Did you see her Instagram post?
Nope.
I'll go let you find that.
Okay.
You know what? I'll just describe it to you, and you
Please.
tell me what you think of it. So obviously, we get this promo on
Yep.
Raw. Neither of us were huge fans of what went on or how it was delivered last week. Natty's turn
Yeah, get it
on
right.
Maxine. So she gives this promo this week where, she tells Maxine she's disappointed in her, and just because you've rolled with a legend doesn't mean you are a legend and all this. And
Right.
we're now going to take this no nonsense Natty persona. We're going to try to do something with this. So
Yep.
she uploaded a picture onto Instagram where she has her back turned to the camera. Well, this isn't a real picture.
Sure.
I believe some Photoshop or AI was involved. She has her back turned to the camera in her new all black singlet that just says Natty down the back, and there is a tombstone for WWE superstar Natalia, and she is urinating on this tombstone in the way that a male would at a urinal. So I want to know if that gets the gimmick across to you better. And I just texted that photo to you.
Dude,
If
okay.
you hadn't seen it.
Hold on, man. Listen, I'm listening to you describe this.
Well, it's
and
on your phone if you want to check it, 'cause I
I'm
think you
pulling it up
need to
now.
see it.
I'm pulling it up now.
Okay.
Okay. So here's here's my immediate thoughts. One, I love the singlet. This is what I was talking about last week, right? Natty takes more of this like Ronda Rousey look where it's very stripped down. You know what I mean? And it's just Natty. You know, I'm like, I like the look. I genuinely do. She looks to be in great shape. I love just the solid black.
Everyone that's listening, if you don't know what Everson's about to do is called sandwiching. He's going to lead with something that he likes about this.
Mm-hmm.
Then the meat in the middle is going to be all the bad stuff that sucks.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And he's going to wrap it up maybe with something like, we'll see. So continue with your sandwich, please.
Yes. Okay.
Give me the meat. Give me the meat.
So I gave you the top bun, right?
Mm-hmm.
The peeing part of this is flippin' stupid.
But it's apropos for someone who once had a farting gimmick.
Dude. Oh, I'm just going to say it. Okay? One, Natalia, or Natty as you put it, you don't have a dick. Okay? That's one. Two, what man keeps his singlet up while he's pissing?
Yeah, does she have, am I supposed to imagine? So when we see this singlet, we better see the hole in the singlet that will allow for such a picture to occur, right?
Listen, that or I need to see a bulge. Like you got to sell this because I'm lost here. I get it.
I mean, she doesn't look. I think
maybe her
I
new
don't
gimmick
think
is
she has
trans.
to have different equipment to pull this off.
I don't know,
but there's certainly not enough forward pelvic lean here.
No, I mean, look, this
she's certainly posing as if she has a dick.
Yes. I like. When you
Pissing
first said
on the grave of WWE superstar Natalia.
Listen, as ridiculous as this is,
the era of Natty.
As ridiculous as this is,
and here comes the bottom bun.
No, actually, this is more meat. This is like a it's like a quarter, like a double quarter pounder. As ridiculous as this is, she would have been better served in this ridiculous nature being behind a tombstone, right? With this bending over and peeing that way. Because at least that would make more anatomical sense. Like, I think the pissing on the grave thing is flat out dumb anyway. Like, it's stupid. But you could have at least gone behind the grave and made it look like you're a woman pissing on this grave. I don't see what the point is of handling yourself like you're handling yourself and peeing on this grave. You know what would have worked, Skeena? What I thought would have been she could have done with this?
None of this would have worked.
No, you know what could have worked? And it would have been a great callback to Neidhart dungeon history. You know what she could have done? She could have done this exact same picture with her exact same gear on and have her holding the leash of a bulldog who is pissing on the grave of Natty.
No, doesn't work.
Why not?
Even if you throw an anvil in there, it doesn't work for me.
The anvil would have been additionally stupid. If she had a dog that was pissing, I mean, look, the whole meme is a dog pissing on the grave of something. You know what I'm saying?
I think it's a human pissing on the grave of something. I think she's pissing on her. We've gone too far.
We've gone down the rabbit hole.
I just wanted to make you aware.
I never would have imagined that on this good Wednesday, we're recording this podcast, that we'd be talking about Natty holding her dick pissing on her own grave. You couldn't have convinced me we'd be talking about that. But yet here we are. So listen, here's the bottom bun. Kudos to Natty for going for it.
Yep.
Kudos to Natty for going for it. Listen, I am sure that this was not WWE's idea.
Hope not.
This sounds like something that Natty would think up, because I don't feel like Natty be having the best ideas. Like,
unfortunately, I'm with you on that. This sounds like a Natty original.
This sounds like a Natty original idea. And somebody was just like, sure, Natty. And she did it. And here it is. And okay, you know what? this is in a feud with Maxine Dupree. I don't think that this is going to elevate her to the status of wrestling Becky Lynch for the Intercontinental Championship, but it could. And if it works, hats off to you. You should listen. Go, no pun intended. Actually, pun intended. Natty needs to go balls to the wall with this all the way. If you're going to be ridiculous like this, it needs to be ridiculous every freaking step of the way. You keep it played straight. You play it straight. Like, I'm not playing this for a joke. But then when I see a picture like this, I'm like, you're so freaking out of left field with this crap that I'm going to be on board with it. Keep doing stupid. Keep going. If you're going to do it, do it.
Do you think she knows it's stupid?
No. I think she thinks
this is hard.
Yeah, I think she thinks this is hard as hell. And it's not. Like, it's just not. But I commend you for thinking this, shooting this, and then having the cojones to be like, look what I did. You know what? Good for you. I think that the singlet is the best part of this whole thing. And if she's wearing like low cut, like wrestling shoes, perfect. The look is perfect. Let me be perfectly clear about that. The look is spot on. This is exactly what I wanted her to do. And I think it sells the gimmick entirely. The pissing thing, yikes. But you know what? I'm going to give the boat a bit of a pass here. Because, you know, she's an elder statesman. She's trying to keep up with the young bucks. And, you know, this is what's cool, right? I'm assuming she showed somebody backstage, one of the girls, and be like, check it out. What do you think? And they're like, I hear you, Natty. I hear you, girl. And Natty's probably like, that's what I thought. But, you know, listen, are we going to get Natalia? I mean, are we going to get Natty in the Women's Royal Rumble? Has she announced? Because I don't think she has.
No, but Natty's going to be in there, I believe.
Listen, her first appearance as Natty is not going to be able to wear her black singlet because they're in Saudi.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
They're in Saudi.
Yeah, I
and
think it'll just be that with sleeves, and kind of forgot about that.
Yep, they got to wear bodysuits. Now,
so, here we go. The confirmed entrance.
I'm looking at them right now.
Rhea.
Yep.
Io.
Yep.
Roxanne, Liv, Raquel.
All three.
Becky Lynch.
Yep.
Charlotte Flair.
Mm-hmm.
Alexa Bliss.
Yep.
Asuka.
Yep.
I don't have Kyrie on this list, but didn't Kyrie say she was in it?
She said she was going to help Asuka win.
Yeah, help Asuka win. So I assumed she was in it, but I guess she's not confirmed. Maybe Kyrie, Bayley, Lyra.
Yep.
Nia Jax, Lash Legend, Chelsea Green, Julia, and Jordan Grace.
Yep. That is who we've got confirmed so far. I think that if Kyrie is not in it now, I don't think she's going to be in it. I think she's going to come to the ring and attempt to help Asuka win. And I think she's going to fail.
Another great backstage segment with Asuka, Kyrie. Who were they with? Becky?
Yes.
Or was it Rhea?
No, it was Becky.
Was it Becky?
Yep.
Yeah. And of course, Kyrie is right there, literally between Asuka and Becky, that are, 2 feet apart at most. And Becky has to communicate with Asuka through Kyrie.
Yes.
The fact that Becky plays into it, she said, "You tell Asuka that," and Kyrie has to turn and tell Asuka.
Yes, as if Asuka doesn't understand what she's saying.
Yeah.
Listen, it was a good angle. Becky is top notch, man, like world class. When it comes to the Women's Rumble, I don't know who could possibly show up here. Not obviously. So who's not on this list? Natty. Natty's not on this list. Bianca Belair could show up. Maybe her finger is, good to go. I don't know. Them pictures that we saw that we were looking at on Saturday, I think those are old pictures. She could be ready to go. That would be a great save for the Rumble return. So, there's that element. Obviously, I do not think that we get Naomi. That would be a very sad return. I don't know who else you get. Some NXT call-ups, maybe?
I can give you 2.
Sure.
And one of them's going to win. And that is the EST, Bianca Belair.
Okay.
Is winning the Royal Rumble.
Okay, so
Because who else is winning?
Uh,
I mean, that's where I'm at. Because like, who else wins this? I don't think Rhea's going to win again. She
no,
could.
I don't suppose Rhea's gonna win again.
Liv, maybe.
Maybe. I mean, Jordan Grace is already in a program with the champion, and they haven't had their championship match yet. So having her win this seems like it'd be a waste.
And I do not think. Wow, I think the company loves Jordan Grace. I don't know if they love her on go ahead and win the Royal Rumble level.
Well, and like I said, I don't think she needs it right this minute.
You're right. Nor does she need to.
You know what I'm saying? Because she's already in a championship match scenario with Jade. So I don't think she particularly needs it. I don't think Rhea or Io is going to win this. I don't think Bayley is going to win this. I don't think Lyra is going to win it. Liv is possible. Roxanne was Iron Woman last year.
I think we probably get Tiffany Stratton back. I would think.
I mean, yes. I mean, because this is a good pick because she has been gone for a while. So
I don't think she wins, but she may.
No.
She may.
Boy, listen. I don't want Tiffany Stratton sniffing around the world championship right now. When she comes back, I would love to see her in a storyline where we can get a better grip on her, who her character is. I hope that this time away, she's taken to kind of reform who she wants to be as a superstar. Not that you change the character, right? But develop something that we can sink our teeth into, because the Achilles heel of her entire title run was the fact that the matches really didn't mean anything. And I think part of that was because we weren't invested in her. We weren't invested in her. So it didn't matter who you put her up against. The most investment we had was when things got personal between her and Charlotte, right? And that's because they were getting personal. The personal aspect of it made us want to watch it. And when you don't have that, you don't have a lot. And I think that she needs that reformation. And I hope that the time away gave her the opportunity. Certainly opportunity was there. Did she take advantage of it? Did WWE take advantage of it? That's what we have to see. I don't want her smelling the rarefied air of a top tier championship. Maybe you put her in a feud with Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch is doing wonderful for the mid. I'm saying after the Rumble. Becky's not winning.
Yeah.
And so, you know,
probably not.
You know, Tiffany throws Becky out. Boom. You go into a program between the two of them. Becky has been doing the Lord's work when it comes to rehabilitating people at the mid-tier level. And Tiffany Stratton could be a great pet project for Becky. I don't think Asuka's going to win. I think Raquel is already in a program with Stephanie Vaquer, which she's going to lose after. Well, she's going to win, I think, after the Royal Rumble. So
you're starting to see why Bianca Belair has to win, because no one else is going to win.
It could be Chelsea.
Maybe. I don't think so, though.
I don't think so either, but it sounded fun.
I think Liv is more likely than Chelsea.
Yeah.
I think Liv is my number 2 pick. Bianca's my number 1, and the rest are also Rans, at least for me.
Yeah.
And I think we get to Bianca and Jade. I think that's how we do it.
Okay. So we have Jordan Grace and Jade, and maybe that.
Yeah, I don't think that carries. I don't think that's a WrestleMania match.
No, I don't think so. I mean, and I think that their feud is going to culminate in a title match way before we get to Mania. You don't stretch it out.
I think at Mania right now, pending what I said, or either way, pending either of my 2 winners, we get to Raquel and Liv and Jade and Bianca.
Okay. You know what? I'm not mad at that. Raquel beats Stephanie Vaquer for that championship, and then somehow we get to Liv and Raquel falling out with the Judgment Day stuff. Mm-hmm. Okay, I like that. And Bianca and Jade, yeah, you can reapproach that story. It's not a bad thing. I guess for me, the idea that Bianca returns and the roster being what it is currently, Bianca winning another Rumble, sure. I mean, it seems like it makes
who else is going to win?
But and I think that's why it's not
Charlotte,
hitting you.
Maybe, but can you do Charlotte and Jade? I guess I could see that.
I could see Bianca and Jade more.
I could too, but I could also see Charlotte and Jade if we're just talking about who else could possibly win.
Well, I mean, then what happens with Alexa? They're neck deep in this Alexa Bliss and Charlotte
I
thing.
think that's stopping sooner rather than later the way they're going on with it. But
Right, but don't you have an angle where they fall out, or do they just part as friends and just go do other things?
maybe
I mean, it's
that's what
possible.
AJ and Dragon Lee did.
Yes.
The Stylish Dragons did it.
Yeah,
If
but
it's
at
good enough for
but at the
if
same
it's good
time,
enough for the Stylish Dragons,
okay. So which one, Alexa or Charlotte, is Dragon Lee?
Alexa, unfortunately.
No, I don't think there's a Dragon Lee in that situation, and that's why I feel like you handle
Well,
it
then
different.
why'd you ask the question? Why'd you do that to
But
me?
because the answer is neither
Oh,
one
we
of
were
them.
friends.
The answer is neither one of them.
Now you're hitting me with trick questions just because I prefaced your sandwiching.
Hey, listen, I didn't tell you that there was only two answers to that.
See,
You could have
this is
answered
what I deal
anything
with.
you wanted, and that's what you picked.
I could
Anything.
have.
It was open-ended.
Any surprises you're calling? I mean, I'm calling. I guess Bianca and Tiffany are surprises. Any others?
Aside from some NXT call-ups, like I can't think of anybody who is outside of the company
give you
aside
one.
from like legends. And you know how the Saudis love their legends. So maybe Trish.
Yeah, I think Trish is a safe bet.
It's a safe bet.
Probably. Hey, I think AJ Lee probably, right?
Yeah, AJ Lee. And look, AJ Lee and CM Punk were just on Hot Ones.
There you go.
They were just on Hot Ones. And I don't think they would have done that with AJ not being on any programming recently, right? If not to drum up some attention that she's still on the scene. That makes some sense. Dude, what if AJ wins?
And they do who? What do you get to then?
I don't.
Yeah.
I would just love to see it. But
regardless, this is finally the year we're getting Paige.
I'm not mad at that. She has expressed the idea that she wants to come back to the WWE.
I think we're getting Paige on Saturday.
I'm down with that. Like, listen, somebody outside the company is going to show up, and Paige makes the most sense. She makes the most sense. I'm going to tell you what my biggest concern is, and it's the concern that I often have that I've voiced many times. The audience.
Oh, I think you'd be surprised. I think they'd react for Paige.
It's not that I don't think they react for Paige. It's how will the Rumble feel? Because I'm sorry, I'm not sorry. The Saudi audience has proven themselves sometimes to be particularly flat when it comes to women's competition. They will pop for the only the biggest of the biggest names. They will pop.
You gotta be a star, and I think they'll pop for the Rumble.
I think they'll pop
for Bianca. I think they'll pop for Paige and Charlotte.
Yeah, they will.
Becky.
They will. And these other people who have legitimately been climbing the ladder and are legitimately stars wherever else they go, they're going to fall flat for. And I don't think that it's a fair assessment that these people are not big enough stars, and that's why they're not getting the adulation. I think it's because the Saudi crowd is partial. I think they are partial to only the biggest stars. And therefore, the people who are not the biggest stars...
Isn't that a fair assessment then?
What?
Of whether or not you're one of the biggest stars?
I don't think the issue is I don't think the issue is assessing whether or not someone is a biggest star. Matter of fact, let me rephrase that. I don't think anybody is debating the idea that Raquel is not in the Elite Five. I'm not stating that. I don't think that is up for debate. What I'm saying is just because you're not in the Elite Five does not mean that you deserve the reaction of the Saudi crowd, which is flat if you're not the Elite Five. I'm not arguing who's in it or who should be in it. I'm arguing the fact that you don't deserve it. You don't deserve that. You deserve what the crowds all around the world give you. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's the thing that we've always talked about with professional wrestling, right? Whether you get booed or you get cheered, getting something is the reaction you're looking for. To get nothing, the flatness, that to me sucks. And that's not, and usually that's an indicator that like you just don't have the crowd. But you get it everywhere else except Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia is the only crowd that when the women come out, they're flat for most of them. And we know what the Saudi culture is generally like. That's why I genuinely detest sometimes when the shows go to Saudi Arabia. Sometimes I genuinely detest it when they go there. Not because I particularly have an issue with the Saudi people, but how you react and respond to this thing that I love, professional wrestling, and thus the people who are in it sometimes gets under my skin because I don't know if it's a cultural bias, but you get people who work incredibly hard and people pop for them all around the world. And then Lyra Valkyria will come out and the crowd will be flat for her. They'll pop for somebody like Liv Morgan, but then Raquel comes out and you're flat for her. Like straight up, it blows my mind. Yeah, it is. But I mean, if the crowd is fixed, is it really show business? You remember 50 Cent and Ja Rule when they were beefing back in the day?
Yeah. Yes.
So do you remember that famous story about Ja Rule and the show that he was trying to put on as some?
Are you going to talk about where 50 bought the front row?
Dude, he didn't just buy the front row. If you hear 50 tell that story,
the first few rows.
If you hear 50 Cent tell that story, and mind you, this is 50 Cent, so take it with a grain of salt here, okay? But if you hear the story according to 50 Cent, he bought out so many seats in that arena that when Ja Rule came out, the show sucked because there was nobody there. Now, I'm not saying he bought the whole place out, right? But he bought enough of the seats out to fix the reaction. You can't look at Ja Rule and say, that's show business, baby. No, it's not. The crowd was fixed. The crowd was fixed. Your show sucked. You didn't get the crowd reaction that you could have possibly gotten because someone fixed the crowd. When I look at the Saudi audience, I don't think that's just show business. This is a product of the cultural response to women in any spot that is in the forefront. And because of that, as a female wrestler, you are never going to get a fair shake. Hell, you can't even wear your regular wrestling gear.
I think before we get too proactively upset, let's wait and see who gets the Gargano pop. And we'll discuss it next week.
We shall see. Hey, look, we'll be talking about it on Saturday. We'll see
who gets the me chin pop, and yeah,
we'll see. And listen, you guys will be right here with us. You guys will be right here with us on Saturday, and you'll be able to see it live and in living color with me and Skeener. Before we wrap this up, though, who do you got? So we got Bianca winning the Rumble, right?
Bianca
seems to make the most sense. And Roman winning the men's Rumble. And then we've got Drew beating Sammy.
Mm-hmm.
And what is the other match? AJ and Gunther. And Gunther
I think
retires
this is it
AJ.
For AJ. I do. In no small part due to Shinsuke's little oopsie.
Yep.
But
yeah, I think it's a foregone conclusion. And I think on Monday we get the official AJ coming out there.
Send off.
The official send-off for AJ. And Gunther gloating. Maybe he gives AJ one show. You know what I'm saying? And then next Monday, Gunther's back out here and gloats the fact that he put down AJ too.
We'll have to see. But we'll be there.
We will see. We'll be there. Listen, remember. Special start time for the Royal Rumble, guys.
2 p.m. Eastern.
2 p.m. Eastern. So, don't forget, you'll miss it. You'll miss our live stream. Obviously, if you've got a VPN, you can watch on Netflix. But this show is going to be on the ESPN app?
Yes. It's going to be on ESPN.
It's weird because when I was on Disney Plus app earlier today, when you go up there, you've got the ESPN app within the Disney app, right? And they're doing the Royal Rumble kickoff and the countdown to the Royal Rumble on the ESPN regular app. But the show itself is not on the regular app. The show itself is on the other ESPN app. I mean,
the service. I know what you're saying.
I'm telling you, dude, this is why you should get a VPN. And look, this is not sponsored. I've reached out to Nord, and I'm waiting to hear back from them. But whatever VPN you get, whether it's Nord or whether not, get a VPN, guys. Like, it just can streamline your life, particularly when it comes to watching wrestling. With all of the proliferation that the different shows are on, whether you're watching Saturday Night's Main Event on Peacock, whether you're watching Raw on Netflix, whether you're watching SmackDown on the USA Network, or your PLE, which is on the ESPN Direct app. That's 4 different locations that you're watching WWE programming. You get yourself a VPN. I use Nord. This is not sponsored, but Nord, if you're listening, hear me write me back. I'm trying to get this thing going. Okay. We already communicated once and you just haven't responded back when I gave you the link for the podcast. I don't know if that's personal or not. I'm starting to take it personally, but use a VPN because you can watch SmackDown, Raw. You can watch PLEs and Saturday night's main event, all from Netflix with the VPN. You switch your VPN, you throw it over to the UK. That's what I do. And you can watch all of your WWE programming in one place. And you only got to pay for one app. If you're not watching other programming on these other apps, which that's how they get us, right? But if you're not, you can cancel those things. And you can just pay for your VPN subscription and you can pay for your one Netflix subscription and boom, you got it all locked in. So check out your favorite VPN. Surfshark ain't bad. I use Nord. That's what I would recommend. And help yourself out. But don't forget, even if you're watching with your VPN and it's stationed somewhere else, WWE live broadcasting time is going to be what it is. So you're always going to need to pay attention. And this weekend, the Royal Rumble is going to be at 2 p.m. Eastern. So Skeener and I will be going on live at 1:45, 15 minutes before the show. We'll be getting the broadcast up and you may hear us before the broadcast goes in, like on Saturday night's main event. I was watching the VOD back and it caught a bit of us talking before the broadcast went up. It's kind of funny, but we'll figure it out someday. But we'll be showing up there 15 minutes, maybe. I say that every time and then I still don't get something right. But show up. We'll be there. I got my pizza order on deck. That deep dish, that's that Chicago deep dish I had last Saturday was clutch. I might go get that again.
I'm not a deep dish guy.
I'm not either.
Generally.
I'm really not either. But that one in particular, we bought it because we thought we were going to get snowed in, right? And it was in the freezer. And so I just decided to throw that in the oven, which took forever and a day to heat up. But when it did heat up and, my wife brought it up to me, dude, I enjoyed that. It was really good. And I got another one in the freezer. So in light of the fact that I ain't got to spend money and they say we were going to get more snow this weekend, I might have another deep dish and save Vito's the trouble of me having to drive out there and complain about the snow. But yeah, guys, join us. We'll be live. Skeener, let our friends know where they can catch up with us this Saturday as well as the next week so they can see what we have to say about all the results of the Royal Rumble and the stories that are coming from it.
You need to make sure to follow us on Instagram at the Lariat Lounge Podcast. That's where you'll see a link Saturday, midday, 2 p.m. Eastern, remember. So we're going to be going up a little before 2 p.m. Eastern over at Lariat Lounge Live on YouTube. There'll be a stream link on the story. I'll blast that out. That's over on Instagram at the Lariat Lounge Podcast. That's where you can follow us for all your updates. We're coming at you once a week, every week, wherever you get your podcasts, all the platforms you use, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, wherever your shows are, that's where we are. And if you've got Rumble predictions for surprise entrants, winners, anything else you want to let us know, you want to give us your thoughts on Natty's Instagram post and what you think about that, please send it over at the Lariat Lounge at gmail.com.
Let us know what you're thinking, guys. If you got predictions, get them in before the Rumble. We can talk about some of these things as the event is going on. I would love to hear if you guys have some thoughts about people who could come into this Rumble before, they actually show up, because the WWE website, which is what I'm reading from, only shows the 15, 16 some picks or entrants that have already been announced. So that leaves almost half of the Rumble entrants that we have no idea yet. So let me know what you're thinking. Let us know what you're thinking. We'll talk about it on Saturday and catch up with us next week. Let's talk about it and catch up with us next week so we can talk about all the results, the fallout from the Royal Rumble. The Monday after Rumble is usually huge. It's usually a big Monday, similar to the Monday after WrestleMania. So catch up with us because the storylines are going to be setting up. Guys, the Royal Rumble is the official start to the road to WrestleMania. So the storylines that are going to be building towards Mania are going to officially begin on Saturday. So don't forget to catch us next week because we're going to be talking about all the things that are going to be carrying us down that golden road to WrestleMania 42. So don't miss it. We'll be waiting for you guys there. From your host, Everson Godfrey, co-host Andrew Skeens, this has been another edition of the Lariat Lounge. Please.
On the way out.